Hey kids, Dave here, coming at you from the Dave Cave. And before we get into the review, I gotta let you know I'm doing a little giveaway here, guys. If you're an Australian viewer and you want to get your hands on the cartoon collection Trapjaw, then look no further. Tune into the Sy-Klone review, which is coming up next. Like the video, make sure you sub to the channel. You got to be subscribed, guys, and comment below. And I want you to tell me, if you could release a MotU Origins figure, who would it be and why? Now, it could be a figure that hasn't been released yet, like MotU. Maybe you want to see MotU released in a big bloody deluxe box set with the squillion body parts that you can customize him with. Or it could be a figure that has already been released in MotU Origins and you just want to see it done better. Like maybe you want to see Flying Fists He-Man released with silver plating instead of vac metallized, and you want to see some actual flying fists in there. And the reason is because you became a professional boxer because Flying Fists He-Man inspired you as a child. I don't know, that was a reach, guys. Maybe you want to see Kobra Kahn re-released with the original action feature re-implemented into the figure, and you're nostalgic for that figure because when you were a kid, you sprayed your cousin Georgie in the eye, and your dad got pissed off because he was crying, and you were both fighting, and so he snatched the figure and he smashed it on the cement outside into a million pieces. That's very specific, guys. That actually happened to me. So yeah. Who would it be, guys, and why? So hopefully that'll give you something fun to work with. Hopefully I'll get some fun answers. I'm sure I will. You guys are pretty imaginative out there. Now, yeah, you're tuning into the Sy-Klone review. You want to get yourself Trapjaw, and I will announce the winner on my Rock On review, which should hopefully drop in the next week or so. So before we get into it, guys, I just quickly want to shout out a Facebook group that I've been frequenting recently. It's the Masters of the Universe Origins Australia group. Alan Gordon is one of the admins there. He hooked me up with Rock On. I was not fast enough to get myself a Rock On. So the awesome dude that he is, he bought a few extra and he sold me one for a very reasonable price. He didn't gouge me. He didn't scalp it. He was really nice about it. And he also notified me to Sy-Klone being available. So without seeing him post that Sy-Klone was available, I would have missed out on this guy too. So if you're an Aussie and you want to chat to some other Aussie collectors of MotU, get into that group, guys, because I tell you what, it's a really nice time in there. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into the review. See you in a bit. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Dave Cave Dave review. I'm Dave, coming at you from the Dave Cave, and tonight I'm having a look at the Masters of the Universe Sy-Klone by Mattel. Ordered this guy through the Mattel Creations website. Now, Mattel Creations is the new Matty collector, kind of like a Hasbro Pulse or a McFarlane toy store. It's essentially the service that lets you order direct from the people that make the toys, in this case, Mattel here. Now, why Sy-Klone was kept in-house is beyond me. Why he wasn't just, part of a regular wave that would hit retail stores is also beyond me. I have the feeling that maybe because Origins is kind of getting towards the ends of, the line there, they're kind of scraping the barrel for the figures that they haven't re-released yet. So my thought is that I guess, maybe they're bringing those remaining Origins releases in-house because they're focusing more on cartoon collection at the retail level. And those seem to be flying off the shelves. So, yeah, I guess that could explain why they kept Sy-Klone as a Mattel Creations exclusive there. So as you can see, he's in the deluxe box. It says collector's edition down the bottom. And yeah, I mean, all in all, the figure that I'm looking at looks pretty awesome to me. He was more expensive to buy through Mattel Creations. It was just the shipping that cost me $30. And as you could see in the fly-ins there, the box and the shipper box are beats within an inch of their life, guys. Absolutely shocking there. So for $30 Australian to get him out here, I should be expecting a better protected action figure than that. So maybe I'll hit Mattel up and let them know that, yeah, they're letting down their Aussie fans. But from what I've seen, anyone that ordered more than one got them sent in a bigger box with the figure inside the shippers inside the bigger box. So yeah, I think that might be what I do next time I order from Mattel Creations. Get myself one and get an extra to maybe flip on the Aussie MotU pages there. Not for a profit, I'm not a monster, but yeah, maybe just to protect my figure from coming in. But you know what, I really I don't mind too badly, because I'm an opener anyway. But when I'm reviewing a figure, I do want the box to look pristine. I don't want my viewers looking at this banged up piece of trash here. But you know what, it's not going to matter in much longer, because I'm about to crack this guy open. But before I do, let me ask you to please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Help me grow the channel and get my videos into as many eyeballs as I possibly can. Now, with that out the way, let's crack this guy open. Let's do this.
Is what
what do you think?
All I thought about is what my mom and my dad was gonna buy me.
Buy you? For what?
With all that money. With all that money. All that money. With all that money. With all that money.
Okay, I'm back, guys, after posing this guy up for a couple of minutes, playing around with his action feature and, seeing what all of his accessories are about. I can honestly say that I am over the moon with the Origins Sy-Klone. Now, I love that they've kept the action feature from the vintage figure. We can't say that about all of the MotU Origins figures. A lot of them, especially in the basic carded line, have kind of done away with the action features, swapped them out for something else. Some of the deluxe figures kept them in, and there's a couple of them that have kind of kept the original. I'm looking at Mantenna, who kind of should be a deluxe. He's kind of a deluxe, but he's just on a card. But they kept his feature, or they kind of rejigged his feature so that he still maintained the modularity in the figure. But yeah, with this guy, yeah, absolutely stoked that they kept the feature, and yeah, also that they kept the lenticular there. That just, nothing says retro vintage figure like a lenticular, a hologram on the chest there. So yeah, some really positive things about this guy here. Now let's have a look at the accessories. Love the cyclonic effects that go on the hands. Basically you take the hands off and then these port into where the hands go, and they kind of give him the vibe of the Red Tornado, or you know, the Flash from the comics, kind of using his hands to create those tornado effects. So really cool, kind of leaning into Cyclone's powers there, and giving these effect pieces that kind of like really elevate the figure and play into his action feature. Now on top of that, we do get the same shield that he had in the vintage release, but we also get this kind of red halo effect, which I don't know, is that like a, you know, retro futuristic like effect piece, or is it like another weapon or piece of armor that kind of tacks onto him? I don't know, but does it look awesome? Hell yes it does. It looks fantastic, especially when you use the action feature, when you spin him around there. Now, yeah, really love that, you know, all of these accessories, with the shield obviously plays into it as well, because you can bash his villains out of the way, but then you've got that red halo piece and the cyclone effects that really kind of play into that that tornado play feature that comes in the figure. So yeah, really love the thought that has gone into this re-release of Sy-Klone. Really awesome stuff. Now I've got to talk about the aesthetics of the actual figure himself, aside from the lenticular on the chest. Now back when I was a kid and I had Sy-Klone, I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan of him. Yes, his action feature was awesome, but just the look of him, he just seemed a little too 80s for me. Maybe I'd already started skewing into like my 90s, you know, young grunge era. But yeah, look, now that I'm older, I can really appreciate this kind of samurai, retro futuristic space man thing that they've got going here. And yeah, as soon as I saw the images of this guy, as soon as I saw that they were re-releasing him, yeah, had to have him. And am I stoked that I bought him? Yes, I am. Alrighty guys, so what we're going to do next is we're going to see how this guy scales with some other MotU Origins figures, and then we're going to chuck another couple of random figures in there and see how he scales with those. Back in a sec. Okay, now here Mr. Sy-Klone stands next to the Origins Mantenna and Flying Fist He-Man. Now here he is next to Clawful and the Filmation Man-at-Arms. Now for a couple of Snake Men, here he is next to the Origins Squeeze and Kobra Kahn. And here he stands next to Webstore and the Origins Orko. Now for some random stuff, here he is next to a vintage TMNT Rat King and Casey Jones, and on the right, the G.I. Joe Classified Rock and Roll. Now here he stands next to the DC Multiverse Captain Carrot and the Star Wars Black Series Jedi Legend Obi-Wan Kenobi. Next up is the Masterverse Faker and the Jada Ryu and Chun-Li. And finally, here he stands next to the Trick or Treat Studios Toxie, the Retro Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man, the Hammond Collection Velociraptor, and on the far right, the DC Direct Jack Kirby's New Gods, Light Ray. Alrighty guys, time for my final thoughts on Sy-Klone here. Now if you're on the fence about getting this guy, and if you have access to him, I probably wouldn't hesitate, you know, unless it's going to break the bank or something. You know, if you love MotU, if you have any small amount of nostalgia for this guy, I would definitely recommend the purchase. He's given me some good vibes right now. He's giving me the good feels, and I'm definitely not regretting making this purchase. Very delighted that I get to add this guy to my shelf with the rest of my MotU Origins collection. Alrighty guys, that's it from me. Time for me to bust out of here. Once again, please hit the like button if you haven't already, and please subscribe if you haven't also. Thank you so much for any love that you've given me so far. That's it from me. I'm Dave, coming at you from the Dave Cave, and until the next time peeps, peace.